Hi, I'm Julian, I'm 14. I've been coming to Great Ormond Street Hospital since 2017 due to me having a rare gene mutation and dilated cardiomyopathy.
Cardiomyopathies are diseases of the heart muscle, so cardio means heart, myopathy means disease of the heart muscle.
It started with my dad. He got really ill. They said they need to check on me to see if I have the same thing as him. So they took a sample from me and they sent it out to check if I have the same gene as him, and it came back positive.
So probably the most common of all of the cardiomyopathy subtypes is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, and hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is a condition that's where the muscle of the heart becomes thicker than usual. It's actually pretty common, so it happens at least in 1 in every 500 people. So if you think about Wembley Stadium with a crowd of 90,000 people in it, there'll be a couple of hundred people in that crowd who carry one of the genes that can cause hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. One of the things that we've been able to demonstrate really as a result of the support from Max's Foundation, amongst other charities, is that actually hypertrophic cardiomyopathy can present at any age, and that in a significant proportion of families, when you look for it in young children, you pick it up.
We want to prevent sudden death in these children and also improve our treatment and monitoring strategies to make those more effective, to direct our treatments at the right patients.
They wanted me to come back to the hospital every 6 months to see how it develops and what happens with my condition, to see how it progresses.
One of the things that we're really keen to be able to understand is, first of all, how does the disease develop in young children, and also can we identify markers that allow us to predict which children are at a higher risk of developing abnormal heart rhythm, so that we can do something about that and prevent that terrible consequence from happening. We have a really active research program now within our department, again largely thanks to the support from Max's Foundation and other funding bodies.
If we didn't have the funding from Max Foundation, essentially, I wouldn't be here, my role wouldn't exist. It enables us to be a big part of the patient pathway. So yes, they come with their investigations, but research is also a big part of that.
Sometimes they do ask for samples for the blood bank.
I tend to do quite a lot of work on a study called Biobank, which involves collecting blood and urine samples. I try to be involved with the research. I always try to fulfil the needs that they want, or the bloods that they want, whoever it is, I try to give.
The important thing to remember with this research as well is that it's very long term. So we have to be following patients up for many, many years to get that richness of detailed clinical data to really understand the conditions really well.
And that will hopefully allow us to have a much more accurate prediction of risks, just to ensure that only the children that really benefit from things like an implantable cardioverter device are the ones that get that treatment.
Research gives hope to the families, and I think our ultimate goal here is that we want to prevent the worst outcomes.
And that interlinks so strongly with their care, because it means that, you know, the more work that we can do, the more that we can understand about inherited cardiomyopathies.
The ultimate aim would be to try to identify treatments that can prevent the condition developing in the first place, or if that's not possible, at least to halt progression of the disease.
I know that the clinical team are so busy with the day-to-day care of the patients, there is no capacity to spend time on research, sadly.
There's no question at all that without the funding from Max's Foundation for our research nurse, for the research assistant, that none of the studies that we've been able to carry out over the last 5 years would have been possible.
My role is impacted by Max Foundation essentially because it wouldn't exist without it.
My role is entirely funded by Max's Foundation, so none of the work that I do would be possible without the charity support.
I have had really the privilege to be ambassador of Max's Foundation since its inception. The involvement with Max's Foundation has been really instrumental in allowing our research program to develop over the last 5 years.
I think that the research will help other families better understand what they have, give them comfort and understanding, and that the doctors will be able to work further upon their conditions and better help them and improve their care.
Our hearts are set on change.
Our hearts are set on change.
Our hearts are set on change.
Our hearts are set on change.